welcome everyone to the October 2014 videocast of the American Private Investigator. This is your first look at the podcast that'll be coming out this week. And for those of you who follow our program regularly, you will recognize that this is our 5-year anniversary, first broadcasting the podcast in October 2009. So thank you for your loyalty over that period of time. Many thanks to Mike McEntee, our producer, for his steady hand all these years, and our regular contributors, Alan Goodman, who provides us with a little levity each month, and Peter Sarathakis, the tireless advocate for our profession. Thanks to both of them. Also to our key sponsors, Becknell and Denault in Washington, D.C., Phil's firm, IRB, and Julian Vale out of Michigan. So thank you very much for that. We have a great program coming up. It'll be posted later this week. We lead off with Phil Becknell, another segment of his Practical Intelligence series. We talk about employment law investigations. John Hoda joins us again, where we continue kind of the story of his arc as a private investigator and have a very interesting conversation about kind of the path that both he and I took and some of the things that we've done over the years that have made us successful. That leads us to a very interesting conversation that I have with our audience on the new webinar that's coming up in October, later this month. The 3 biggest mistakes that private investigators make that hinder their agency's growth. I talk a lot about that program. You can register for that at AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com. Space is limited for this, so I encourage you, if you want to pick up some very practical advice and have an option for some continuing training that we're going to discuss in that webinar, that you register for that as soon as you can. Will not be offering that again until sometime next year. So pretty important that you go ahead and register at AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com. I'm certain that we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people on that, so I don't want you to get caught flat-footed. So again, register for that as well. Next month, in November, Alan and I are going to be doing a retrospective of the first 5 years of the program. I'm sure that'll be quite entertaining. We're also joined by our 2 friends, Joel Levinson and Jeff Steele out of Arizona. They produce a podcast called Walking with Warriors that I think will resonate quite well with our audience. And then we have our industry roundtable, where we're going to bring in 3-4 big hitters and talk about the past year and what's coming up in 2015. Well, we continue to get a lot of people signing up through our various social media channels. We're up to probably 3,000 or so right now. Some new folks out of the UK, Michael Meany from Hyperion Investigations, Fred Saluga, Mountain States Research and Investigations out of Houston, Texas, Robert Relic out of Temecula, California, Chris Franciscan from Relevant Investigations out of Topeka, Kansas, Michelle Brokaw at Silver Bullet Investigations. We have many new Twitter followers as well. We're up over the 700 mark. From Big Cat Investigations here in Minneapolis, Kendall Fritz. Cloak Investigations is now following us. Investigator Gator is a new follower. Info Out Loud, Apple Investigations, Pacific Coast Investigations, our friends in Asia at Asia Link PI, and Mark Davis out of Utah, all new Twitter followers, so thank you very much. Again, you can follow us on any of our social media channels by just simply signing up by going to AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com. And again, the webinar, which we've been talking about for some time, is going to happen on October 29th. We are offering 2 different times that day that we will offer it, and I'm sure that you'll find that very helpful and very interesting. But again, space is limited, so make sure that you are heading to the site right away. Podcast will be out a couple days following this videocast, which you're watching on YouTube. Thank you, everyone. I hope to speak to many of you in late October for the webinar, and we'll also see you again in November. Thanks, everybody.
For more information on the products and services of the American Private Investigator, please visit AmericanPrivateInvestigator.com. Make sure to engage with us through our social media links on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.